I see it with a clear eye.
So I hustle.
Mama's house to Penthouse. Yeah.
Great show coming today. We got a special guest in the house behind the scenes.
Trey, what's going on, brother? Man, my boy.
I don't know if y'all can hear me
Trey
back there.
We probably can get you in there. We're gonna add you in there. It's a bunch of man. I can.
Yeah. If y'all,
do me a favor. I'm gonna do you like this. Boom, my boy Trey, say what's up. What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Trey, if you can, make sure.
Yeah, to make sure that angle's still good. Man, if y'all need some photography in the city, man, hit him up. He got some great ideas about how to actually make the club live besides just coming to take pictures. You know, a lot of people don't be wanting to add no extra value to their business, man. That's like why I like what he's talking about.
Earlier, yeah, just by adding all types of different stuff to the product, like at the end of it, instead of like how at VVS, we don't just offer you to deliver it. We always upsell you, like, do you want us to, you going somewhere this weekend? You want us to pull up on you there?
Yeah, exactly. Black truck service, just something extra. I used to always say in nightlife they should do that. Like, instead of just doing the section, they should have it where, you know, you can add the car service. We was doing something like that with Club Everywhere. It's like, you and your people, y'all pay, and then we pull up to your house, drive you to the club, then drive you back home. Now I want to pay more for a section. It's really that simple.
We have to do it because Kawasi made his way over to the family fleet at the other side. It's just a sign to me, like the fleet.
It's gonna get done now that we said it on here.
Logistics in general is just I learned logistics in general is just something that I can see why Amazon that sells a lot of digital products has a strong logistical wing. A lot of big companies have a logistical.
Well, you know, interestingly, I got a partner. He works what they call last leg with Amazon.
Yep.
So they hire all these contractors to actually handle that last leg. So Amazon, when it actually gets in your city, it's like an outsourced logistic companies that actually take that over. And they make a lot of money from doing that. So Amazon got the whole thing figured out to the point where they got all the what they call fantastic plus you can get if your organization is doing well. So it's really like some powerful stuff that they got going to keep the logistics good.
Man,
to your point.
Logistics are just super important. I was out last week. I had the fat face. Y'all, I don't got no photos.
Yeah, I was wondering if you wanted to talk about that. See, we was walking around here early, and you was like, man, why we didn't film last week? And I didn't know if you want me to say, man, because your face was fat last week. Because he was sitting there, I was like, I don't know if you want Trey to hear why we was out last week.
Well, no, he in the group chat. I didn't send no pictures, but I told. I don't think so.
I was just about to pull up. You say respectfully, I can't get on there with a fat face.
Yeah, I can't. Not the fat face. Nigga on this hoe. The fat face? Yeah. It's not that. It's serious.
But
it's serious. We got a lot of old content though, so
it's just because it's gonna be up forever.
Yeah, like it ain't. I mean, we you know, we could have audioed it. It's a lot of things that could have been done, but you didn't need to be on here with the fat face. You know, the funny part about it is I invited everybody on that Thursday to the foundation room. Mm-hmm. I'm in the foundation room. My face, my face on some Martin shit, like what's that movie? Hitch. That's Will Smith. Yeah. When his face was beat up or his face was bubbled up, my chin was just like it was just getting there. I was it's getting there. So I just had to take care of that shit. You know, we're gonna.
But you good now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Well, you ready to get in today's episode? We got a great question today.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into Mama's House Meb. You're gonna see if you watch that back, Trey, you're gonna see that in the edit. You're gonna see that. All right. So this is from Keon from H-Town, right here in the city. All right. Big fan of the sales culture movement. I'm currently working a corporate 9-to-5 that pays well, but I'm miserable. My mama's house in my mind isn't a physical place. It's the comfortable salary that's keeping me from chasing my real business idea. With the 2026 job market being so unpredictable and AI taking over safe roles, is there even such a thing as stable jobs anymore?
Hell yeah.
How do you know when it's officially time to cut the cord and go all in on that vision?
Okay, let me see it.
So he basically wants to know, like, you know, you got a 9-to-5, it's stable, but, you know, with all the uncertainty in the economy, you know, AI is rising up and stuff like that. He's like, how do you know when it's time to go in on the vision? Now, I feel like we talked about this a lot.
Keon?
Yeah.
Keon.
From H-Town.
Keon, okay, he out here too. So if I want to know, I automatically want to know, do he got a business right now? Is it something kicking? because then that's what I'm run the analysis off of. Like,
Well, I see he said he's chasing a business idea. And I'll be honest with you, I've been on the phone with so many people, business owners, and not even business owners that's just business owners. They got a stable job and they trying to make that transition. And I always tell them the exact same thing because the question is always the same. I think a lot of it is just being in the field long enough to gain the confidence to actually believe that, not that you will necessarily automatically succeed, but that you will figure out what's necessary if you do go all in. Because I've seen entrepreneurs, their business is doing great, but that stableness, the stableness of that job makes them just not want to quit when there is going to be a time where you have to take that leap. And I think that's what he's actually asking for. A lot of people call in or they talk to us, and I think they're looking for that validation for someone to say, yeah, bro, you should do it.
Right.
You should
on
do
this
it.
date, at this time, when this happens. Right. Which nobody can provide that. I like what you're saying, because, but and I'm holding my thought too as well, because like it's a give and go. It's like, it's only when you have enough confidence to lean on yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time when it will work. And that don't mean that as soon as you have enough confidence, something might not happen and stuff like that. But, and it also is a dollar amount of confidence. You will make a certain amount of money, a certain amount of months for a certain amount of time because of stuff that you did. Even if it's like, I built this little business up to this amount of money a month, I can do this again. Yeah. That's what'll end up happening to you in your mind. So and then you'll end up just telling yourself, man, you done made it so far. How could you? And then that is a real thing. If you ever went somewhere and you're like, fuck, I gotta go get it. I gotta go somewhere. And then like I gotta go somewhere and get a little something kicking it. Ain't nothing wrong with getting it kicking now, but you'll get there and then you'll tell them everything that you do, boom. And then they'll tell you like you overqualified. And then that's a real thing, because I can imagine myself like working somewhere, like I'll be in everybody's ear like, nigga, do you know that we could, they wouldn't want you in there. Like, bro, that's the last type of person that needs to be in somebody's organization. Like, do you know that we could, like, soon as we get off from here, bro,
we could go do this other thing.
We could go do this, and
nah,
this.
But
and
I'm
my
saying,
hypothesis is in 2 months.
You're not that employable, though. Yeah. That's what people don't understand. At a certain point, entrepreneurs are not that employable.
Right. To Keon, to the question's point, when you start speaking, when you build enough confidence up like that, because you'll eventually get in the field enough to where you are confident enough to, like, you'll learn that you don't even need to know everything. You just need to learn to make a decision. Whatever, that's all I think that it'll end up being.
I think what we can do to throw you a life raft here is kind of go through a couple things, right? So we'll talk about like what it's going to look like potentially when you do actually leave that job. What are some of the mindsets that will take you through that? And then what ultimately will make you feel security? Because I think although, of course, you need to have faith in yourself, you have to believe in yourself in order to get to a point where you feel secure. I think ultimately there are things that are tangible. Like if you have monthly recurring revenue, you're going to feel a lot more stable going out there because it's similar to how you get paid right now at a corporate job. So it's things like that. But I think the first thing we got to always talk about is the mentality. I've told you this, I've talked about this thousands of times, it's psychological warfare. That's part of the UBB, the mental side, the psychological warfare. There's 20 forms of resistance that all of us face when we're trying to do something. Now, I'm not going to go over them because I would be going over these for the rest of 3 or 4 episodes. Maybe I'll go over some of them one of these episodes. Maybe we'll have like a special where we go over them. But, these are things like perfectionism, procrastination. Do I need to learn more? Do I need to know more? Is the time right? And these are all just really mental excuses that you make instead of just going out there and doing what's necessary. So I think the first part, just going back to my own story, I'll tell this story, right? I always think it's funny. It's one of my favorite stories. Now, this was a long time ago. It's so long ago now, it's crazy. And this was back when I was still sleeping on the floor of my mom's house. And there was an opportunity for me to move out. I remember we've been on the phone, me and you. I was talking to you every week, and I was like, bro, I'm moving out this October. I don't care what it is. And keep in mind, I'm full entrepreneur. So I don't have any job or anything like that. I'm about to move out based all off entrepreneurship. And I've told this story before. But I remember the time came where the opportunity presented itself for me to move out. And I went around to everybody. I'm talking about friends, family. I probably talked to 10 to 15 people at that time. You know what they told me? Nah, don't do it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They said, nah, don't do it. But then I knew at that moment it was time to do it. Now, here's the thing I want to just tell you so you understand that this was not a stable thing that I was going into. I didn't even have money for rent that first month. But what I did know, and this is why I say I think first we have to establish what type of mindset you need to thrive if you're not going to have a stable income. I understood that I would work as much as necessary to make it okay. It's not that it would be okay. If I left the house and I just kind of chilled out and started playing the game all day, I was going to find myself on my ass. But I knew that I was going to do everything that I needed to be successful. I remember you talking to me at that time.
That's the only decision you got to make, too.
I remember you talking to me at that time. You was like, bro, you know, we in business together, bro. If you wouldn't have left at that time, me and you would have had a physical fist fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's because what you were saying was like, bro, if you're not going to take your own life serious, then you've been playing around all this time talking about you really doing entrepreneurship.
And I know the importance of, like, even at that time, the importance of just we gotta boom, 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 boom. Even if you get knocked back, we gotta keep it going. So like you said, as a brother, as a partner, you know, like, nigga, we in this bitch, and then you saying all of this, you know, you're saying everything, and then the opportunity, not even the opposition, the opportunity come right here. And you're
not really trying to do it.
Yeah, you ain't fighting, nigga. You ain't front line. Like, and
I think I always ask myself when people ask questions like this, what are you really trying to accomplish with your life, right? Like, are you trying to run the clock out? You got to like 80 years old, and now all of a sudden you just kept a stable job. But I think that's not what most people are trying to do. I think most people, if they look back on their life, they would prefer a life where they took challenges, they took risks, and they tried to do something interesting with their life. I always thought about this. You know, back in the hood, you ever been in a situation, maybe you got in a situation where it was like a crazy shootout happened or something. It don't even mean you was a part of it, but you just was at a place or it was a dangerous place that y'all escaped from, right? Everybody talk about that story. Everybody look back and be like, bro, you remember that time we was at such and such and they started shooting and then we drove off, we had to get out of there. The reason you talk about that story, you don't talk about your day of getting up and making a smoothie or something, is because it's something about that risk that gives your life meaning or gives it interest. I'm not saying you should just purposely go out and do dangerous shit, but I think that when people ask this question, you're feeling a call to adventure. You want to do something greater, but for some reason, you're going to hit us up and say, hey, bro, should I do it? You're looking for people to give you validation. And I think going back to believing in yourself, the reason they say that is because at a certain point, there has to be a transition from needing others to motivate you to you finally motivating yourself. Yep. And the reason I gave that example is because when I left, I went to everybody looking for validation. I went to everybody asking, is this the right thing to do? And everybody said no. But then when I did it, it was actually the right thing to do for me. And I learned in that moment that just because other people say yes doesn't mean it's going to be right. And just because everybody says no, it doesn't mean it's going to be right. What it means is that somewhere you have to just make that final decision that I'm going to do it and I'm just going to make it happen. And once that happens, that's when it'll be the right time, because if you go through hardships, you go through ups and downs, you're going to do everything necessary to make it happen.
Yeah, and somewhere is in your gut. Your gut tell you what to do. Just kind of listen to it. Or even if you don't know, like, damn, the gut saying a whole bunch of shit, pick one of them and hurry up and fuck it up fast. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It matters to the extent of, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the faster you mess up, the quicker you'll gain the confidence to make decisions. So you'll be ultimately, like, you'll get to a space like you just looking for any supporting information to help you make the decision quicker. So any nigga on YouTube saying a keyword, anything, somebody talking to you about something, you're just looking to make a faster decision about what's going on. With what Keon's saying, I think even like you said, I think I would make the decision just to go spend more hours in my business, because you'll come to more conclusions, and then eventually you'll just come to a conclusion where you can
Man, I think it ain't no right answer in this shit, man. I think that people could tell you they got the answers, but what I think is what's actively happening is, let's say you get into a mentorship community. What they're really doing is giving you the confidence to feel like you can hop out there. I really think that's all they're doing. The information, I promise you, we're in the age of AI. The information, how to put a business plan together, that's easy. That's super easy. You give me anybody, bro. I swear in 2 days, I probably can give you so much information about how to make your business better that you'd be like, damn, it's crazy. It's like some genius shit. But 90% of people I give that information wouldn't execute on it, right? But why wouldn't they execute? The roadmap and the blueprint has already been laid out, but it's something internally. It's one of those forms of resistance that they're feeling as far as like, man, I don't know if I should hop out there. You're looking for somebody to say, hey, this is the right thing. You want somebody to pat you on your back and say, bro, this is going to work out for you. But ultimately, the point I'm making is that it's, how could I know? I don't know your situation, right? I don't know your exact situation, right? It's been people who started with way more money than you, and they've done it. It's been people who started with way less money than you, and they've done it, right? In every situation, every scenario, no matter who gets on the phone with me and says, bro, but this is going on, I always tell them, I say, but whatever situation you're talking about, somebody's already done it from those circumstances, and for sure worse circumstances. Yep. I remember thinking, joking, you ever been to like a seminar with a bunch of speakers? Yeah. And I was joking, like, you get up there, be like, I be up there, yeah, man, I slept on the floor of my mom's house. I'm about to tell this story. Yeah. And then a speaker go up before you, they be like, yeah, so I was homeless for 5 years. And it's like, God damn, this story way harder than mine. Now, that don't mean it's about comparing, but the point I always take from that is like, if you're going through something, and I'm talking to an entrepreneur and they got a house that they talking to me from and they got internet connection and all this type of stuff, I'm saying you got everything you need to be successful in the age of AI. What you really need is to get more validation from yourself and become more self-validated, because ultimately what's going to happen is, let's say I tell you to go out there. Well, if something goes wrong, then you want to be able to say, well, this guy I was talking to on the internet, he said I should do it, and I didn't fuck my life off. When really, ultimately, you should have made the decision to go out there, because if you make the decision, then you're going to have skin in the game, like, I need to make this shit work because I made the decision. Yeah,
I'm thinking about basic stuff that turns me off with friendships or like partnerships or ladies, young ladies or my lady, anything like that. If she won't make it that far, she do stuff like this. But like, if you call me, if we somewhere new and outside of like access to like getting into like a gate, like how we just had to do. Yeah. But like somebody like really wanting you, like even if you somewhere brand new with that person, they're really leaning on you to tell them where to park. So when the car get towed, they can be. You sure I'm good? You sure I'm good? I sense it so much. You like, you sure? You like, I get what you're saying. Like, they like, might be trailing you. They might be trailing you. It makes sense at an apartment, but we in a whole nother city. Yeah, you think I'm good here? They call you. Hey, we good right here? It's like, I don't know. I'm also not from here. I don't know. I have to assess the area. Because he going to go tell everybody, bro, DJ had me parking out there, bro, got me towed, bro. But that's what we're saying about this. That's something I pay attention to in my friends, family around me. Everybody, if I'm going to work close and we're going to push forward, we got to work on the decision making. Yeah. Is it like, and a lot of times it's just as simple as like, man, I don't want to look out. I don't want to look. I don't want to do what it takes. Yeah. And damn, that sucks if I'm gonna be around. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, you saying that you would like for somebody else to do everything for you. So, like that's why I thought about even the mentor groups. A good mentor group, Keon, when you come, even in our UBB group, in a few, the answer, you wouldn't leave with the answer. You would just leave more confident, like, you in a community of people. Yeah. You in a community of people. That's the best part about a community of people is like, they'll help you build the confidence. So like, imagine 17 people in here that's at a specific level and they all tell y'all, nigga. Yeah. Or they just did it. Or like, man, we didn't know. We never knew. We don't know. We didn't, like, everybody told you that. You would even so you don't have the answer is you never gonna know, like you don't nobody knew. Steve Jobs didn't know, nobody knows.
I think you just made a good point though, and that point is that I think the community of people you're around is important, right?
Oh yeah.
So in that example, when I went and asked those people, they're not crazy, they're not tripping, but they didn't understand what I was doing because none of them were entrepreneurs, right? So if you're in corporate America saying, hey, bro, I think I'm gonna leave corporate America. They're gonna be like, oh, hell no, bro.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that, bro? Stable income and all this shit is good. Like, why would you do that? But if you get around a community of people who like, yeah, I had a 9-to-5 job and I left and I feel a lot more fulfilled doing what I'm doing, then you're gonna feel a lot more confident. I think you reach out to a show like us because that's what you're looking for, right? And Mama's House to Penthouse to me is a lot of time the catalyst for a lot of people to start entering these communities. We're developing a UBB so people can be in these environments. But I think what you just said was a huge part of it, right? It's like the toe analogy, right? You asking us because you want us to go half on the bill when you get told. And that's what the whole thing about getting out there in the world is. It's cool, bro. You got to get that decision. But what you can do instead of like looking for validation, what you can do is get in a community of people where you can at least feel that confidence. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't have that. We meet, we have our masterminds and we talk about this shit all the time. But I think that those are the things that we can give you practical that you should do. You're not gonna know when it's time to go all in, but once you decide to go all in, that's when it is time. And then the next thing you should do is get into a community of people that can help you weather that storm, because that's gonna keep you mentally good.
Yeah, because then because I know you want to hear practical stuff like, and which is all inside of the UBB. Like, all right, we're gonna give you some tools that'll help you actually get the money quicker. Mm-hmm. So like shit, like you'd be surprised how many people don't really stand on the way that they send invoices. Like, just sometimes they take Cash App, sometimes they'll take it this way, sometimes they take it that way. Like, a real group of people who've been through what you're talking about, they don't gamble with that type of shit no more. Because that's what makes you want to go back and forward when you fucking around like you're not serious about how you get the money, right? Yeah. Little stuff like that. Very simple. Very simple shit that you'll get inside of like the UBB. This is like practical tools. The Funnelverse. You can go and look it up online. If you're a jeweler, the Jewelryverse. These are CRM tools, customer management relationship tools that allow you to actually build confidence in your income coming in. You can create a subscription-based product. You can do all these types of things. You can sell a T-shirt. You can sell and then you'll learn how much debt you in. All right, cool. $2 million in debt. You need to send $72 million worth of invoicing. I don't know how you're going to do it. Fucking figure it out. Make a product that costs $1 million and send the invoice 72 times to people that you've talked to, all of that stuff. That's just practical stuff like that's some left field shit, but you'll understand eventually with a tool that allows you to collect money consistently. You working on your products, you hit the market enough, you got a subscription based product. Now you actually look down and you done did the amount of money that you be getting at the job. Like
you done switched out your income.
You done switched it out. Like I switched out incomes plenty of times to the point to where you can, like, you'll know, like, oh, this motherfucker, yeah, this all right here. All right,
it's doing the exact same thing.
It's doing the exact same thing. So now I'm about to just now that's what I'm saying. If you've been there enough, let's make the decision. It's fun after
that first time. This hard.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't know. No, you're never gonna know. Or even when you make the other decisions. And here's the cool part: you could fall flat on your face. It don't matter. Make the decision to get up if you don't fall flat on your face.
Once again, that's one of the forms of resistance. You're scared of being humiliated by others.
That's a fun fact. Like, man, I'll mention this live right now. If somebody listening to this, they'll die laughing. I don't even mean to bring this back up in this young lady's life, but the PV Pong girl, this was a huge thing in college. Some people don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Probably can't even really, you could probably look it up and out of that on Twitter and stuff. Yeah. And I hate to rehash old shit, but I'm trying to say that shit popped up as a college kid, man. I couldn't imagine that shit being over.
Devastating.
Devastated. Man, at some point, that shit was dead over. The young lady had she came to TSU and had a whole new life. We was fucking with her like, hey, what's going on? Like, we didn't, like, everybody, it was, for you to think that people give a fuck about you like that is just wild, is all I'm trying to say.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's the type of stuff that I feel like when you ask a question like this is what you're looking for. Because I feel like after you understand, like, the mental side is really what's holding you back. It's not the skill side, because there's communities, there's all kind of stuff on the internet that can help you with this. It becomes easy. But let's say you do leave. Let's say you do take the leap and you do leave, right? You got your business idea, obviously, already, and you want to take a leap with that. I think there's some very practical ways you can start moving towards getting that business rolling to a way where you feel comfortable. So the first thing I'll say that I've learned is this. This is just something, if you're doing any type of business, most people will not do this, but if you do this, it'll make the business a lot easier. Most people just create products they like. What do I mean by that? They saw something that makes money, somebody else can make money, and then they just make the product. If you took time doing what we call an offer deck, an offer deck is basically like, what you end up doing is you research a market. I remember when I was every time I enter a new market, what I'll do is I'll go interview people in that market, right? Most people, you'll be surprised if you just, hey, you mind if I interview you? I'm building a product. I just want to get some ideas, some thoughts. So there's a couple things you can do on these interviews. You can hop on here and you can ask some questions like, what are some things you're facing, all the problems. They're going to give you the problems. But then you just say, well, what if I offered you this? What would you think about this? A lot of times, even on those calls, people would try to buy something from me, even though I'm just interviewing, because I'm learning the market. And each time I learn the market, I'm learning more of what their problems are. Now, this is a step that most people won't take. But the reason I would say, if you got a business idea and you want to make this as stable as possible, you want to make sure, and you can even do this while you're still working. Yep. That's the thing. You don't even have to quit yet. You can research a product and get a product market fit and understand this, the market wants this. This is what they're going to purchase. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to give you one step further. You could even test this without ever having to leave your job. You can put this out, and this is a strategy. Have you heard of rapid prototyping before? So what they'll do is basically you go get a landing page, you put an offer up on the landing page, and then you get it all the way to the checkout. But when people get to the checkout, it just doesn't take the money and says, hey, this service is currently down, or it's under pre-order, or something like that. What this does is, if say you run $100 worth of ads, you got a corporate job, you can spare $100 for advertising, and 100 people hit that prototype product, we know it's a good product. So now, not only have you got a product market fit because you've interviewed the market, you figured out what offer they want, you've actually prototyped this offer before you've ever left the job.
Right.
Now what you can do is then when you make that leap, you're leaving the job knowing you have something that the market will pay for, and then all you have to do is develop the 3 basics of your business, which is lead generation, lead conversion, lead retention. And then you come to a community like us, we can help you with that. Or if you even go it alone, the whole thing is you're starting off with a stronger foundation versus just leaving. I think there's these small things that you can do to prep yourself to leave that are practical, but ultimately, even though I've said all of that, somebody gonna say, yeah, but I don't got time to do it. I don't got time. All that means is that you haven't mentally built the courage up yet to take the leap, because this is something that every entrepreneur had to do.
Because that's like 4 hours if you selling some hair products. Mm-hmm. I got 3 aunties and a niece I can interview. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see them at Thanksgiving coming up. Yeah. So what's that? You just knocked out the whole 4 interviews in the same little day. You know what I'm saying? And then you ask them the questions, you got the data. And to your point, if like running the ads on the product, trying to see if people want it, looking at different products right now that are selling right now, like in that niche, like you said.
And you can do all this without even leaving the job to give yourself more security. Like Trey was just talking about how he'll do photography at the venue, but he'll actually bring other people to make the venue look lit for the promoter. That is tremendously more value than you just pulling up with your camera.
Yes.
It's tremendously more valuable. So let's say I go out there and I was leaving and I just had my camera and I say, okay, what does the market want? Hey, bro, can I interview you? Promoters will let you interview them. Hey, can I interview you? I'm talking about this product. So I'm doing this photography product. What would you like to see in the venue? Man, when the photographers be coming, they going to just tell you everything.
Because nobody ever asks
That's what I'm saying. It's so simple. Yeah. Now, imagine you go to all these promoters. You got all this list of issues that they have. And I run an ad saying, hey, we're not going to do this issue. We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this. Don't you hate when photographers do this? And then I run that ad. They're going to be clicking the button as fast as they can because this is not shit I'm pulling out my ass. I'm actually interviewing the market. So now I got an offer that works. Now all I have to do is manage the other aspects of the business because I figured out that I can run some ads, which means if you can run ads, all you need to find is what's called a customer acquisition cost, which all that means is if I spend $10 and I make $20, I can keep running ads because I'll keep making money. If you got a good enough offer, they're going to click on the offer. Even before the landing page gets fancy and all that type of shit is going to happen. But I guarantee most people will listen to what I'm saying right now because I did it in the past and just skip this step. They will not do that little bit of market research. But if you do, I promise it's going to make it so much easier when you are doing advertisements to find a product market fit. Once you find that, then you can start doing what I said if you want to rapid prototype it, or you could take it straight to market.
Yeah,
then the next part is to work on your conversion, understanding like once you actually get them there to talk about your service, what do you do?
Right. That's where we are at VVS. We used to do one-on-one calls. Did good doing one-on-one calls, but it's a burnout to the sales reps.
Yeah. And it's hard to scale.
Yes. Our new strategy has everybody on the team stupid motivated. Like, I'm promoting 1 hour days. Like, how you like that? You like that shit, don't you? I know you like that shit. I know you like that shit because I love it. 1 hour?
Yeah.
I ain't never been able to work 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have still the same amount of money potential for you as a sales rep. So it's like instead of selling cars one-on-one, you do this one big car event every day, DJ, food, everything that they need.
And it's the same amount of time.
Same amount of time. It's just a mindset, though.
Yeah.
But you'll get in the field. You'll build your confidence up. You'll get to the point to where it's like, all right, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
And what we're talking about basically, I'm going to mention this so many times. I think it's important. Lead generation, lead conversion, lead retention, right? Get a lead, convert a lead, retain the leads. Conversion now goes down to things like how to get on a call and actually structure that call. Yeah. There's a lot of different frameworks. T-Point is one. There's another sales framework. We have pitch decks, which goes through certain things, and they're done in a certain way because at the end of a call, you'll always get the same questions, right? If you do it one way and people ask you, have you done this before? That means that you didn't put in the pitch deck somewhere your previous work, testimonials and stuff like that. If you get people who are a little antsy about... You probably don't have
a strong retention. You probably have a problem with retention if they asking you the question of how many of these have you done.
Well, I think if you're doing a pitch deck, it's not in there. It's like you should have something that's in there. Like you should have example. Like you do jury. I seen your pitch deck. It's extremely good. But I know
never heard the question. I haven't heard the question in a while. How many? Have you? How many?
Yeah, because the pitch deck is good. It shows. Because the thing is, what I'm saying is, don't get mad when somebody tells you these things because you're able to diagnose the symptoms, right? Yeah. When somebody is, man, have you ever done this before? I know that in the pitch deck, I haven't put enough in there in order to make them feel at ease.
Right. A simple slide, just hey, these are some pieces that we've done before.
Yeah.
But also, I love those questions like that because you get an opportunity to psychologically beat all of them up. And when you finally get to the end, you will leave people like, man, I don't have
no questions.
I don't got nothing.
They just purchase, right?
Yeah, I don't have nothing. Or like either they purchase then or you set a date for them to purchase if they didn't.
And that's going back to understand how to convert. Like you never leave the previous sales interaction without the appointment for the next sales interaction. Because sometimes people may not have the money that day. There is a potential that they don't. I know some people, but sometimes they don't, right? So you need to know when's the next time we're going to talk. So, or they need to bring somebody else in, but you should have something in your pitch deck to actually negate that as well. It's
either the money is getting collected today. You cannot get off this call without scheduling the next. I'll tell the client that this is standard protocol. We cannot. I feel empty inside if I let a motherfucker off that call.
Well, because to go back a little bit.
Anything can happen. The call could drop You know, all types of
and
stuff.
to go back a little bit, you should have qualification steps in your lead generation. Something I forgot to mention. Like, you qualify these people so when they're getting on the call, they're less likely to be people who are bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, going back to, you've got your prototype, you're going through the process of getting on the call people, you have some type of sales structure. If you want to look up some simple ones like T-Point, it just makes you look a lot more professional when you get on, instead of saying, hey, so what you trying to do? Is like, hey, look, I'm going to take you through this structure. First, we're going to learn a little bit more about your business, and then I'm going to tell you about us. That telling them about you, that helps negate that at the end where they don't know who you are, right? And then after asking all the questions, this is really such a simple thing, but it works so well. When you ask people questions, even if your solution, you know it works for them, you know it's for them, and you ask them questions, don't answer the questions until you get past that point. After you've asked all the questions, they have no more questions or concerns, you just write notes down or however you're taking your notes. Then in the selling process, you just link everything they're saying to the points of what you're selling. And then what this does is creates this thought in their mind like, oh, this shit is for me.
One time on the sales call, a client told me, Johnny, they ain't let you walk back there, boy.
Yeah.
I ain't never let a nigga tell me no shit like that again in my life, because right after that, I understood what he meant. He was just saying, I feel so in tune with the process. We went and built Cowboy Express, Cowboy VBS Express, the app that's now in the App Store that allows you to sit with your order and you back there with us all day. I've never heard that since. As a matter of fact, everybody now wants everybody prefers this process to be how custom jewelry is done. That's why we have the Diamond Direct. I believe it's how it should be done, because you're on top of your order from the moment you thought about it. Like, I'm meeting with somebody. I can meet with you here, but we still should be on top of the order somewhere. Like, even if you come to the fulfillment zone where we're setting the diamonds and all of that, that's fine too. But you still need to leave there and have that same
peace
feeling.
of mind.
You still need to have that same feeling when you go home tonight. You need to lay down and go to sleep and be like, man, you know what, nigga?
Check that order.
Check this motherfucker real quick. Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
Showing
go.
people, this is my order in the pipeline.
Well, can you see your? Don't you got a chain coming to you?
Yeah.
How's your shit doing?
Exactly. And they ain't gonna know.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
And the whole point of that is, these are tools that after you've gone through the lead generation, now you're in the conversion stage. What stops people from saying yes?
Yeah.
So you systematically looked at every time somebody got on that call, like you said, somebody said, oh, they let you go back there. Instead of getting mad and pouting, you were like, okay, well, I need to put a system in place to deal with that. Sometimes at the end of the call, people just pay the money. There's nothing else to be said. Every objection they have, I've already heard it, so I already have a slide to deal with it. I already have something to deal with it in the pitch deck. So you get to the end, you're like, it's on that slide. It was on that slide.
I can't remember what made us, I think it was just natural. You just thinking, I'm thinking about the privacy clause. Everything that you see, we got a slide in our sales process that says your turn. You tell us when we was doing one-on-one calls. Yeah. That's where everything came from, to your point. Like, we would ask them, like, what was the things that they didn't like about the last, if they ever bought jewelry before, and what was something that they didn't like about that process. And after you ask so many people that, you get all of this feedback, and then you just go and build.
You just made a good point that wraps back to what I was just saying in the beginning, right? If you go into the market, all you need to do is collect data. It's so easy to sell people the more you know about the market, right? So even in the calls, when people are telling you, man, the last time for example, we got Cindy Express because in web development, people be running off. It's common that they run off. But the same thing, similar to like in the jewelry, we have a thing where you can track the entire order. You literally see, if we say, adding new picture to the homepage, it's a task. You'll see in progress, finished. In progress, finished. Also, nobody has that.
In that app, there's a feature where the clients at ours, they can see it's grayed out, but you can see the amount of projects that we've done and are doing. So
why would that be there?
Why would that be there? Is that cute, or
what would make you even think to put that there?
17 people done asked me, how many pieces have you done? No.
Now you on a pitch that you just pull up. Yeah, let me show you the pipeline and show you where your order is.
The one that you have access to right now. Yeah. As soon as you got this car,
and then you look at it's in your mind. You hadn't said it, but you like, oh, they must have done this before. He been here before.
Hundreds of times. Look at the designs. It's 1,000 of them in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So it even puts in perspective of like, damn, I need to pay right now if I need it done. Mm-hmm. Like the diamond setter has 9 projects that he's setting right now. Yeah. Like I have to keep that in mind.
If I want to get it through there. And I'm saying that's such a simple thing, but I think that people make entrepreneurship extremely difficult, right? You're like a scientist when you're an entrepreneur. You're just collecting data and then you're feeding the data back. You're building the product that the people want. But most people build products off of vanity. I've been a person who's done this before, so I'm not judging, right? I want to sell this. And then they go to the market and be like, this shit don't work. Then they go back to their job, right? Instead of taking that little bit of time and saying, what would this market want? What is happening right now that people do not like? And I've worked with so many businesses. I've got to see this in so many areas. The ones that succeed are simply just service-based businesses. They keep doing what you're talking about. Hey, I got on the call, somebody said they don't like that you can't see the orders when they're going through. Hey, I built an app where you could see the entire process. Yeah. Oh, I got on the call and they said that they don't like when they can't communicate with their jeweler. Oh, well, we just built something in an app where you get what I'm saying? It's just
they told me one thing and then did another, bro. I mean, I heard that. I had already knew as a black jeweler coming into the game is you can't certain things they're not finna give you no money. Yeah. If you're not coming absolutely correct. So I had already understood that. What took it to the next level for me was getting into the entrepreneurship community with the tools that helped us do it easier. But we have never did a piece without everybody signing off on it. This is you get a proposal. So if you got a piece from us, I can go back to your proposal and the one that you signed. Remember the one that you signed?
You said.
The one that we sent to you that you signed. So that way, it had the brand guarantee on it. The one that you remember, the one that stated, no matter what's going on, if something's wrong, just send it back in. You liked it that. You also liked it the privacy clause that we had. The privacy clause is because people hate when people start talking about their jewelry to their partner.
What's the name? You know, I did say jewelry. He actually paid.
Yeah, he paid $8,900. It's like,
now why do we know this?
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm trying to get the point of security. Security comes from understanding it's very simple to get money out of people by giving them value. Yep. It's nothing sleazy. It's like, hey, you want something? I'm going to take the time to construct something for you. So if you're leaving corporate America, I've just told you how to generate a lead. We're talking about converting. Just keep collecting information. If you get on a call, it doesn't work, collect information from that call and then spiral it right back into your product. You don't have any testimonials. If it's the type of product where you can do a couple for free, where you can get the test, hey, all I want is a testimonial, a really good one. I want you to get on video and say, man, this man changed my life with this. Now I got those in my pitch deck. So now I've defeated the testimonials. Have you done this before? I've defeated, you know what the fuck you doing? I've defeated all your credible company. I've done that. You keep saying shit when I get on the calls, I'm just going to keep adding slides until eventually at the end of that call, you will have nothing to say. You'll just be sitting on the call like this. And if I've done my job in qualification, you wouldn't have been on that call without the money or anything like that. So I've set up a funnel to make sure there's security. After I get the conversion down, then we go down to lead retention. And to me, ultimately, if you're going to leave corporate America and you want to feel secure and feel like it's the right thing to do, I feel like you have to set up some type of MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So, prime example, I remember, and this goes down to something like in photography. I've seen somebody do this in photography. They had just packages where, hey, I'm going to give you a certain amount of photo shoots a month, right? It creates a subscription. Now, it could be 10 photo shoots a month. I don't know, whatever you charge for them, right? But what they found was that most people won't use that many, right? They'll use a couple. You probably end up doing the same amount, but you're getting paid every month, which gives you security, right? And if you have certain things on your programs after to create retention, then it becomes very sticky. Like, for example, we just launched the revenue flywheel. So when people get on the software and they get in there and they like, man, I got on the software, but I don't know what the hell to do with my business. Each Wednesday, we have a free training. So every Wednesday, if you sign up, it's a free training. We got 1 week we go over foundations, just showing you how to move around the software. Then we go through lead generation 1 week with 3 separate ways, how to do it from social media, how to do it from ads, how to do it from database reactivations. Then we have the lead conversion, which we go over how to do like automated follow-ups, text messages, AI assistants. And then we even have a week on that where we go over how to do a pitch deck, like I was just talking about, right? How you think I know how to talk about this shit?
Yeah.
And then we have the Ascension, which is the lead retention one, which goes over how to get referrals if you're not like a business that can do subscriptions, because then you need to have referrals coming all the time, because that's how you make it more stable. Or how to build a retention-based product where you're getting that monthly recurring revenue. So after you got that in place, whatever you're making in corporate America, you can just look and say, well, if I get 25 clients, that's going to be the same amount of salary. And if you set up this success aspect after, where it's like, man, I'm going to stay on this because they're actually adding stuff to my business. They're giving me different things that nobody else is giving me. Then you've created just a damn near guaranteed revenue, which creates strong security if you're going to leave corporate America.
Corporate America, the job that you work for, that's all that they have going right there. They have a very good system that they know when you do this.
You need to become a little corporate America.
That's it. And you can start off with your small first little 25 and then run into the next problem. Like, okay, I got my 25. How can I get out of this?
Yeah.
You will run into what we've been talking about in
scaling. Yeah.
The other episode.
Last time we did it, we talked about that.
Talk about scaling. Like, all right, now you finally got your 25. The fun part about not being in corporate America is like what you just did, you can do it again. But the hard part is what you physically just did is not what you physically finna have to do to get to the next 50 clients or whatever. You know, it's not going to be like, man, I went outside, nigga, I knocked on everybody, I knocked on 1,000 doors. You can go and knock on another 1,000 doors yourself, and you could, and then the crazy part about entrepreneurship is if you went out there and knocked on them 1,000 doors and you got 25 clients, you might go knock on 1,000 doors and get 10 clients this time. You know what I'm saying? Or you ain't gonna go get nothing because you gonna learn so much and all of that. But you got the opportunity. Okay, yeah.
You good? You keep going.
You got the opportunity to actually, push it forward, collect that data, and keep it going. I know we.
No, we good. We good.
Yeah.
We good.
But
what you saying?
Just after you get them first 25, that's the next step is just scaling it. But the first 25 people, clients, all of that is going to give you the confidence to actually just keep the shit going, because that's really all that you want is the confidence to keep it going,
I mean, I think that's kind of like the theme of this whole episode is like getting the confidence to feel like you can do it. One of the best books I ever read, I forgot the author's name, but it was The Power of Decision. And that's really what it was talking about. I tell anybody who struggles making decisions to read that book. It's what it's talking about, being decisive. I know that there's not a right answer a lot of times, right? I just make a decision, right? Hey, should we do this product line? Just make the decision. I know there's going to be a couple things that happen with that. There's going to be maybe some mistakes happen, but we're just going to learn from those mistakes and get better. That's really all it is. Everybody that you see who's at a very high level, they just make decisions. That's all they do. They don't do anything special. They're not doing some type of magic behind the scenes. I know that people like to look at entrepreneurs and successful people and think they're doing some type of underhand magic that they don't want to tell you. But what it is they've built a mental framework and a way of making decisions that leads them to come out on top more than they lose. That's all it is. And if you get out into the field, we've talked about this thousands of times, eventually you'll build a similar framework in your industry. Yep. You'll know exactly when you get on the call, when somebody starts talking a certain way. It's almost like magic. You'll be like, oh, I already know what type of person this is, right? It's like a certain voice people have. I'm not even lying to you. This may sound crazy, but if they're talking a certain way, I can just tell they're not going to purchase. Yeah. I just tell. They don't have to get through the whole call. It's just the way they're saying things, I just know they won't. Yeah. And that's a 99% accuracy that I know that this happens. Now, that's a lot less that I get people like that because of qualification. But the whole point is, all this stuff doesn't come because somebody has some type of magical talent that you don't. It comes from the fact that they get out in the field. Or more importantly, that they make that first initial decision that I'm going to make this happen no matter what. And that's the question of what you need to do if you want to make this happen.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing. You got to get out there and make decisions ultimately so you can build the confidence. And you got to fuck up a few times to do that. So it ain't, you know, what we saying is get out there, Keon. That's really the only thing that can happen is get out there and fuck up, win, because you're ultimately going to build the confidence, and then you'll ultimately get to a 25 client standpoint to where, all right, I got this, and then you can make the decision, the same things that, like, it ain't gonna be the same physical things that you did, but you can make the decision to keep going. Just keep going.
You know, this makes me think of, and people may get mad at me for giving this example, whatever, right? But you know, in the Bible, there's that story. It's easier for a rich man to, it's easier. I always forget how it's put. It's right. It's easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven, right? And I've always heard that 100% of the time, but I remember I told you I read the Bible from cover to cover, right? And people don't talk about what is said immediately after that, right? So the whole story is set up like this. It's like it's Jesus is walking around, and he gets to this point where, you know, a guy walks up to him and says, man, I want to follow God. What should I do? And he basically tells him, you know, give up everything and follow me, right? And he's like, he didn't want to do that because he had many things. And then he said that statement. And I think that in corporate America, I think that's what makes it so hard for people in corporate America to leave. Yeah. Think about if you're poor and you have nothing, and I say, hey, bro, come with me and let's do this business. What you gonna make? But think if it's like, man, you know, I got a stable job. I got
dental care. I got health care.
And I say, hey, bro, leave that. Yeah. And come see, you know, this might work out. Just come leave that. Yeah. It's going to be a lot harder. And I think that's why when you have things, you have to understand it's a lot harder. But always remember that to find the life that you're truly looking for, the one that's going to be fulfilling for you, it requires you to give up that path. Now, I could go on a lot of more passages and stuff like that I feel like relate to the situation, but I'm not going to do it. But what I'm saying is, I think that's the thing that I'm reminded of all the time, because it's so easy for somebody who doesn't have anything to do these things. It is going to be harder for you to make that decision. But what I am saying is ultimately, if you make that decision, I believe that you will find the life that you're looking for, as long as you're willing to truly make a decision. Decision means to cut off all other options. So if I cut off all other options, it means that, hey, I've decided to be an entrepreneur. I remember sitting in my mom's house one day on the floor, college dropout, and I just said, nobody was sitting, I said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm doing it. I don't give a fuck what it takes. I'm going to do it. That doesn't make me better than anybody. I just made a decision. And when decision is put behind you, it's like you get something in your spirit that's like, damn, bro, I'm going to actually do this shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro, I had debt. I had lawsuits. I had all that shit. Still going to do it. So what's happening doesn't matter to me. I'm going to do it. And what you realize is that most of the stuff that happens to you is just shit giving you lessons on the way to becoming the ultimate person that you're going to be.
Ain't nothing happening to you. It's all happening for you.
Exactly.
And it's probably happening to you because you haven't made a decision or you have made the decision. So you say you want to be a multi-million-dollar star, then your Honda get hit, or it's
probably happening to help
the hoopty, the little hoopty. You know what I'm saying? To get hit, and it's like, okay, yeah, you just need to get that one out the way so we can go ahead and start fixing your credit, and then getting you the next car that you make the payments on, which then gets you the history, then gets you into that next car, or you probably paid that one off, keep that one, rent. You know, it's like it's a process. You know what I'm saying?
But everybody's trying to interpret the events that happen to them as bad, right?
Yeah, we don't know.
We never know if the events are good. Like, I know you've probably had a situation in your life where something happened to you that seemed bad at the time, but later down the road, you're like, damn, I'm glad this happened because it helped to make sure that this didn't happen. It's almost like those stories where somebody gets injured and they think it's bad, but then they go to the doctor and be like, bro, if you would have came in 2 days later, bro, you would have been dead because we found this. Mm-hmm. It's one of those situations. I think life is like that, where a lot of times the negative events, because you're pouting about the negative events, they then seem negative. I can't think of any event that, if I really pay attention to it, that didn't have some type of lesson if I was paying attention that helped me later down the road.
Absolutely. Even if I was absolutely tripping.
Yeah.
It's always something like nigga tripping, and then like you see your auntie up the street, she just, hey boy, what's going on? Just threw you off the trip. You know what I'm saying? I think everything always is happening for me. I don't know. I just could be delusional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it to the point in my life where it's like, shit, even if like I slipped and slid in the grass and like the tire busted. It's like, I'm like, shit, nigga. Like, that shit, maybe it was, I'm just going to assume that was for me. Like, that was like, not because I just did some hoe ass shit or nothing, just, that was for me because it helped me. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking.
I think it's what better way to live, in my opinion, right? You can sit here and argue with that and be like, nah, bro, it ain't that. But I'm saying, I've always said I only adopt the mindsets that help me get to where I'm trying to go, right? Yeah. You can come with all these counter arguments about, but then, bro, it really is this, and then I really didn't. It's like, okay, fair enough.
I'm delusional.
But what I'm saying is that does not assist me in getting to where I'm going to go.
That doesn't help me right now.
Me being mad about this shit. Somebody, I got told. Me being mad about that doesn't help me, right? It teaches me a lesson. If I take the lesson, then I can gain something from it. And when I've done that, even when I've been the most irritated, the most upset, when I've done that, I feel like I've grown in a way that's helped me become more successful year after year. So the whole thing is I'm not looking for some external thing to tell me what decision I should make. I'm understanding that it comes from within. And once I make that decision, it's going to be the right decision because I made the decision. Mm-hmm. Either you have spoken or you have not spoken. And that's really all it is, Keon. You got any final thoughts, D?
For the most part, I would say we've been on decision making, so that's like the number one thing. It's not, sometimes you do need a little bit of more, like you need, like, okay, for me to make a solid decision, I need this to happen. So now you got a decision to make over here. But ultimately it's like the quicker you can make decisions, even if they are ass wrong, it's still in a good community. You're gonna get your pat on the back because you made the decision. Yeah. It don't.
All we care about.
It's all a solid community is gonna care about. You have a saying, I don't know where the saying comes from, but it's like the audio saying, like they'll forgive you for bad camera quality.
That's I think that's Think and Grow Rich. The world will forgive you for making a mistake, but they won't forgive you for not making a decision.
Right. The camera quality and the audio shit is the same, but then the other one is that's the one from Think and Grow Rich, the one I always think about. Yeah. You can make a mistake, bro, but they'll never forgive you for just imagine like the type of fuck up you make. When I hear that, I think about somebody driving. This is my final thoughts. Like it's a median, nigga. It's a median coming in the middle. Nigga driving the median, like right there. It's like, bro, right or left, bro.
That's a good ass example.
Right or left, bro. You just in there. I got.
But I might go the wrong direction. It's like, I don't give a fuck,
bro. Like we should make a U-turn, nigga. Like we all in the car, bro. Like that's why I don't even like.
Yeah, that's a good ass example.
Man, I don't like getting in the car with people because I will fuck it up quick. And I'm almost daring motherfuckers to be what? Who? Yeah. Who? What?
Because you didn't want to make a decision.
Yeah, like what y'all, you don't fuck with me no more? Yeah. Damn.
Exactly.
Well, damn, quarterback, don't get up out there then, and ain't nothing wrong, and it's not even about quarterbacking.
Yeah,
a good community is clapping for any decision you make. It don't matter what it is. That's the main thing because when you make decisions, you push yourself forward. Even if you gotta make a U-turn real quick, now you ain't gonna fuck that up no more.
Yeah.
And if you do, you tripping, you really like try to miss the exit again, bro. So like next time, bro, let you miss that exit 3 times, bro. You really like, man.
You never miss that exit again in your life.
You really should never miss the exit again. Yeah. I say that shit. Yeah. I still need the GPS. I'm from Houston. I don't need it.
That's because you letting that GPS make them decisions.
Yeah, there you go. Now, sometimes I'm a victim of like looking at the phone too much. So that's why I don't do no more driving. Yeah. Fleet program coming soon again. Yeah. Fuck that.
My final thoughts. I echo that sentiment, man. I've dealt with this so many times. Y'all gotta understand, I've been on calls with so many people who ask the same question. Is this the right time? I'm making a transition out of corporate America. And it's always the same thing. I look at them and say, are you making a decision or not, right? Are you asking me for permission or are you making a decision? Because in every entrepreneur, I want to cultivate that sense of self-worth where they're like, I feel good to make a decision and live with the results of those decisions. But even from an egotistical standpoint, you're more likely to really follow through if you feel like you made the decision. Yep. If I tell you, quit your job, you're going to feel like I made the decision for you. You're going to be like, this person I was listening to on the internet made me quit my job.
You
right?
probably not even going to do it.
You're not going to follow through the same.
No,
but
I can probably say 98% of you, if Prinston just put up a post right now that said, quit your job.
Oh, no. People are like, what the fuck he talking about? I'm saying, but the point I'm getting at is for people who are in the entrepreneurship community and you hit me up, because I sit on calls with people asking me this shit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, look, if you want to ask me, I'm always going to say, if you really don't feel like you like your job, leave. Yeah. I'll tell you. But what I also tell you is, but if you're looking for me to be the ultimate authority on making a decision, you're not going to succeed as an entrepreneur. Because what happens when I'm not there? What happens when you have to make the decision? There's always decisions to be made that are very difficult in entrepreneurship. The example you gave was so good because that's really what it is. There's sometimes it's like, hey, look, we need to do A or B. Yeah.
It's right or left. And here's the thing. And you're the CEO, so shit.
That's what I'm saying. So ultimately,
if you go left and you're supposed to go right.
Yeah. And ultimately what I'm saying is that's what a conversation like this is about to me. Explaining that to you, right? That's what I need to see before I say somebody's ready to make a decision. I don't need to see a certain amount in their bank account. I don't need to see some business plan that's completely elaborate. I don't even need to see work ethic. I just need to see that you're willing to stand on the decisions you'll make. Because what'll happen is you'll make a decision, you'll mess up, you'll learn, then you'll make another decision, you'll mess up, you'll learn. Then eventually, all of a sudden, you're not taking L's anymore. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're winning all the time because you made so much decisions that all of a sudden, you're just winning all the time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what makes you ready to leave corporate America, is that you're a person who can make decisions, stand on them, and learn from what you did. And that's my final thoughts. You want to tell them where to reach you?
Country Cowboy, our platforms, 2 Ys, and then with the personal brand, we doing more sit-downs like this. You'll be able to see them. We putting Who is Country Cowboy on Tubi so you can watch it soon. And then Cowboy VVS, the webinars, Misty during the weekends, Mero gonna help me during the daytime.
Shout out Misty.
Yeah.
Shout out Mero.
Shout out everybody. We bringing it in. We doing webinars. So every day, the way we sell jewelry is through webinars. So every day we have webinars you can come to. We're trying to do 1 a day, 2 a day sometimes. Mm-hmm. So you come to the webinar. It's a group of people there. We're all putting our orders into the app. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what it is. So you'll get your price right there pretty soon when we finish this new feature in the app, and you'll be able to put down right there or schedule your next sit down for when you are going to put down.
That next interaction.
Next interaction. You can't get off that webinar call without doing it. Some people exit out and all that, but we're going to get you on that next call. But that's what it is. You're coming into the webinar and you're putting your order into the Cowboy BBS Express app and you're following it all the way to your doorstep. Very simple process and everything. So if you want some custom jewelry, you can do that. And then the Diamond Direct webinar, all of those links will be below. If you're a jeweler and you want a mobile app just like Cowboy VVS Express, you want to white label it, you like what we're doing, you can have people put orders in, get the price, get it done. You like that process, then get you a seat at the webinar for the Diamond Direct. That'll help you get your app in the Apple Store in like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks max. We're going to get you in there and get you going. And all the features that we add to the app, you'll get those features added to as well. We also give you the opportunity to code new features into your own white label version of the app, which is a separate coding package that we have in there if you want that. But very simple product. We do the fulfillment calls, success calls once a week too as well if you got a Diamond Direct, just so you can make sure you're successful with the app. So that's pretty much it for me.
Prinston Hicks on everything, Prinston Hicks. Get in the 24-hour empire. That's the webinars that we're dropping. They're going to be on Tuesdays, and we'll probably end up doing like just the replays every other day. And I think we might end up doing Tuesdays and Thursdays live. But the 24-hour empire is basically teaching you how to, you're rich in 24 hours, but 24-hour empire, how to build a business that runs itself 24/7. So you can take calls at night, you can have AI assistants, you have all this stuff in place. And we really walk you through everything. We teach you different secrets of how to do this. And like I said, make sure to get on one of our softwares, Funnelverse It gives you everything. So all in one platform. But what we just launched is the Funnelverse Revenue Flywheel. So once you get in, every Wednesday, this is every Wednesday, 7:30, there's a call that we do that helps you be successful. And there's a section in there called Hot Seat. So how I'm answering questions here, there's a hot seat section where we'll be sitting there with the software like, hey, this is what you do. This is how you get leads in here. This is how you would build your pitch deck. We do that on those calls. So that's something I'm super proud that we've launched in order to make sure that the clients are successful.
Retention.
But it's powerful. It's part of the process. We practice what we preach. Lead generation, lead conversion, lead retention. Get that stuff in there. And make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, Spotify, to follow us, subscribe, do all that type of stuff, because we're going to be coming with a lot of content. And I think we're going to be on for a while this time. Mm-hmm. System in place. Besides that, appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
I came up from nothing. Started from the bottom. I see it with a clear eye.
So I hustle.
Mama's house to penthouse. Yeah.